Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Kais Esa, 259102. As for the initial overview, I'm going to be presenting about the introduction. And as you guys know, we are from Group 1, has collaborated with a statutory organization, which is the organization that we have been chose is under the Department of Social Welfare Malaysia. In relation to that, the organization is called the Community Rehabilitation Organization, which is the organization is located in Kulai Johor. And apart from that, we have also invited the staff from the department to collaborate with us to conduct a joint interview session. And this time, we have managed to work with Mr. Yusri Binti, who is Mr. Yusri is one of the representative from the organization to work with us to ensure that the progress will be running smoothly during the interview session. And also, for the readers' further knowledge, Mr. Yusri also is one of the employees in the Community Rehabilitation Organization, and he is already served in the organization for more than 3 years. At the same time, Mr. Yusri also can be said as one of the expert educators because in the organization, Mr. Yusri also is required to teach all existing students about the latest learning of syllabus, just like the other school has implemented for the students' assessment. And now, let us proceed to my second point. In this second point, I'm going to be describing about the organization, which is the organization is the Community Rehabilitation Organization, or in Bahasa Melayu, we call it as a Pusat Pertubuhan Pemulihan dalam Komuniti. As you guys information, PDPK is one of the organization that stays under the Malaysian Community Department, and in this regard, PDPK has worked by helping the government to provide a better service to the community. They have several functions in the PDPK unit, for such as they prepare plans and strategies of the Ministry of Health, and they helping to prepare a master plans for the human resource department, and lastly they monitoring and evaluating also the policies and strategies with the Ministry of Health Malaysia. Why do we choose PDPK as the main organization? The reason we chose the organization is because the issue that we have chosen to peel more deeply is all about bully, which is the bully issue is one of a change issue that is very critical in one social development that has happened in Malaysia. Finally, we tend to choose the organization because this organization has the standardized objectives that are strictly in line with our wishes in discussing more about the issues of bullying. And in this regard, we have also managed to get a response, but positive response from the PDPK to collaborate with us to conduct this interview session. As I mentioned just now, we have managed to interview Mr. Yusri, he is one of the special staff in the PDPK organization. In relation to that, Mr. Yusri also, before the studied in counseling management when he was at university. Without participation of Mr. Yusri, he has shown that he's very qualified to peel back the issue, which is the issue must be taken seriously because it has all related to the individual social development. Last but not least, we are very fortunate because we have grabbed this opportunity wisely to collaborate with this organization in order to explore more what is the best mechanism provided by the government to overcome bullying misconduct issue. Finally, with the cooperations given by the Mr. Yusri, we have become more eager in diving into the community issue that happen around the youth issues nowadays in Malaysia.
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Nurjana Binti. My matric number 259233. So, for further detail about this program plan, we move to the persuasive strategy that used in this project. In this issue, which is bully among students, we use IDA model. There are 4 components in this model, which is awareness, interest, desire and action. The first level is awareness. Awareness is where we must grab individual attention and engage them until they want to know the main idea. They will listen the most and decide whether to continue or to focus their attention or not. We can see how important this level for understanding is for people regarding bullying among the students. Picture also powerful to attract a person awareness. For example, using poster that will get their attention while also provide them with the information. Then, by empowering children to recognize bully and defend the victim, we can raise the awareness. After that, The next component is IDA model that we may use to address the bully problem is interest. After they have created media information to the user, the next stage is to generate their interest. By provide short argument and explanation, we might increase pupil interest. For example, doing something that may interest the person. When the target audience is interested in what is being presented, they want to learn more about it. In addition, to increase their interest, we maybe can tell them and engage explanation that describe why the solution is the way it is. Next, sufficient interest also can motivate an individual to start further research on this issue. As we know, the symptom of bullying in school sometimes come from problematic parenting practice at home. Everyone requires a significant change in mindset and interest in the value of children and their feeling. So, we can make them want to spend their time understanding the message given in more detail. For example, we can get their interest by share the issue of bullying that other victims have experienced. We also can use graphic to illustrate the symptom of bullying where someone is forbidden to do something because we know it is not right. As a result, they will better understand why the act is prohibited, and it also will allow us to highlight important aspects. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Nurjana Binti Muhammad Sadar. My matric number is 259457. Okay, before that I want to say thank you Linda for your explanation. I will continue our presentation about desire. Okay, for desire, we know that everyone have desire. Desire may influence by someone or that person have awareness. So, in our case, when someone had been bullied, they must have desire to change their problem and come out from their problem. For issue of bully, the person that had been bullied by someone had to come out and intend to tell someone or to share their problem with other parties like their friends, their teachers, or their parents. However, desire also can lead intent to change, but it still not happened yet. It just a desire from that person. Okay, after we have desire, we also must have action. Action is something that we act or we have willingness to take action. For our case, the person had been bullied must have action to solve his problem, such as first, he can report to the management, or second, he or she can meet the counselor to tell the problem and to come out from trauma or burn. Trauma and burn is a side effect of being bullied. Besides that, we cannot ask the person to come out from being trauma and burn. We can slowly persuade him and ask him about other problem, what side effect of the being bullied. So the counselor also can give therapies to him. Another action that we can take for this problem, as a community, we can educate more people and also our family for not being a bullied person for someone else. to come out from the stress or anxiety, because bullying is not funny. Bully is a serious uh, that bully is a serious thing which is can lead to harmful or any disable physical or mental to the person that being bullied. So I want to say that we have to stop bully and take action. We have to come out and together for this issue to solve the problem and let the children or the student will not face it again and again in the future. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kashan and my metric number is 261311. Today I'll be talking about the persuasive elements. So the first element is the target. So what's target? The group of people who tend to demand the goods or service, and consequently the individual who should notice most of the marketing campaigns. So the target audience this time is the students in Petaling Jaya district. So the benefits of making sure who is our target audience beforehand is that it can prevent anyone from speaking the incorrect stuff, including offending someone with a jokes, and it can help you talk to the target group in a way that they can understand the topics that will interest them. So the second one is forms. Form helps to attract the audience by building appealing main points or by seeking to attract them by associating what we would like them to think. So the framing theory is somehow connected to these elements. The framing theory describes how it is communicated to the public and how the audience react to it based on how we arrange and present the data. And the framing hypothesis says that the method in which data is provided to a person affects the interpretation decisions that person make. So the third one is evidence. The proof and trustworthiness of a message are determined by its provenance. What is communicated or the content of communication is equally important in persuasions. So all the data collected will be presented in a way that creates impact. It will then leave a deep impression in the audience. So for this campaign, for instance, the data needs to start off with the worst possible data. So we don't need to show them that how ill the society has become and how scary it is to be involved in bullying. So the next one is credibility. The objective and subjective elements of a source or a statement's trustworthiness are referred to as credibilities. So when we are making a speech, you must always trust your audience, like your audience, and respect your audience in order to build credibility, and the audience will do the same to you as well. So we will always need to want the best for our audience, and we have to consider our presentation as an opportunity to help them. For this campaign, what we want is that they will know how to handle the situations when they are involved in bullying. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nurona Dari. I will continue element of persuasive, which are message channel and tactics. The message of this campaign in persuasive consists of three components, which are style of persuasive delivery, interesting use of language, and diversity of vocabulary. This three part is important to deliver a message to gain attention from the student, to be aware of the school bullying and enable them following the advice. In this situation, the speaker have made a chat anything to the student with some attempt asking them a question or involve them in the topic of conversation, such as ask them whether bullying occurs towards them. Next, the message also have interesting use of language, which is use of variety of purpose, such as persuading others to embrace point of view and idea. Emphasize resonating with the tone and emotional concern that brief life, and variety of tone in order to make it less boring for this prospective student. Secondly, the school have to emphasize resonating with emotional issue by mentioning the problem faced by victim and need to help pupils solve their problem. The thirdly is use of rhetorical question to draw attention, which makes some question that student would like to think what does this mean and why they are bully other student, instead of yes or no, which can make a student no interest of the issue that occurs towards them. Lastly, the method consider the need of their student for determining which vocabulary or words will be beneficial for their grade level. So the teacher or counselor in the school can also create the poster using the word or phrases from combination of poster below accommodate their student need. Next, move on to the channel that used in the school. The first one is the channel factor. They have made the channel by using the effect of alternative mass media. The school will create this alternative media by giving the information such as psychological abuse, emotionally bullying to the student via advertisement in print media such as school magazine, brochure, and other that make it fascinating and colorful, and this is the main attraction for the student attention. This will allow students to create their own readers and study them as long as they are desired. Other than that, the personal versus non-personal channel are also which concentrate and impact pupil more, such as when the victim may voice their concern to the student rather than reading an article from the mass media, which cannot make them to do anything. It will also strengthen student personal interaction with their school counselor or teacher. The presenter factor, which are credibility by grasping and breaking down complicated information about bullying, explaining information to students clearly using both verbal and writing resources during classes, or presenting in a style that keeps student attention.
As for the conclusion, we have successfully collected all approaches to overcome the problem about bullying by using all medium of persuasive communication. As I mentioned just now, we have included for several approaches to raise about the public awareness about bullying misconduct. And apart from that, we have also applied some of elements in persuasive communication that consisted with many models. For instance, we tend to choose an AIDA model. Finally, with each approaches in this element of persuasive communication, we already able to identify what measures are most appropriate to apply in this issue that is involving an individual social development. As I mentioned just now also, we have used the AIDA model and the persuasive element approaches. The purposes of our uses of this kind of approaches is because we want to assess whether the discussion that we have took place between Mr. Yusri bin Tariman can produce a very thoughtful proposal or otherwise. In addition, we have also sought to take a persuasive communication approaches that can be linked to the media confinement to assist them in dissemination the informations of the issues that related with the bullying misconduct that happen in Malaysia nowadays. That's all for me and for my group. Thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum.